Hello.
Right. How is everybody doing? How are you doing tonight, Dee? Oh,
It's a
goodness.
week. I'm just going to say it's a week.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you so much for being here again tonight. And welcome to Let's Talk About It Live. And welcome once again to the Chatterbox. And for those of you that it's your first time, we, the creators of Let's Talk About It Live, challenge you to rise in kindness. And with that, I'm Theresa with Meant to be RVing.
And I'm BB with Beyond Beauty 3.
Right, there you go. Well, before we welcome those in the chatter, shall we bring up our guest for tonight?
Sure.
If she's ready to be brought up.
Yeah. They're ready. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Happy
hey.
Wednesday. Yay. I have my extra special guest too. It's not just me because I'm nobody. I always have to have my better half Dave. So, he's the special guy.
I got Shanghai.
You guys, Dave got Shanghai. Oh, that's awesome. We really appreciate you being such a good sport about it too, Dave. But
it's always fun.
Like to welcome you, Charlie, Grace, and Dave with Forever Best Friends on the show with us tonight. So, and we're going to share the link to your channel as well. I think you have a web page and stuff like that, but we'll get to that a little bit and let you talk a little bit about some of that as the show goes. But also, just like everybody know that the reason we brought Charlie Grace on, because we just thought she'd be the perfect fit for what today is. And today's September 23rd. And with that, it's National Dogs and Politics Day. So, knows everybody knows that who else other than Charlie Grace she loves those all her forever best friends and your forever best friends. So if you haven't checked out her channel too, you definitely it's something you'd want to do. Get to know her a little bit better and what she's doing over there. And we'll probably talk about that too. So that's good. Awesome. Phoebe, you think it's time we should probably say hello to everyone over there?
Yeah, let's get over here to the Chatterbox and say hello to some people. We have Van Life with Gina. We have Thrifty Angela, Cindy Wheeler. We have Forever Best Friends is here.
Imagine that.
And we have Nomadic Hippie, Fordman, a.k.a. Kenneth Oakes. And we have Nelly RV Adventures, Shanna Craft, and I think my scroller skipped over somebody over here. I think I got everybody so far.
Awesome. And I am putting in the chat really quick. Link.
She's faster at this typing than I am. So.
You got it there. That's awesome. You got it. Perfect. All right. Well, just give me a second there. Whew. So I'm sure everybody up here on the chat, I think we've all done a little bit of research on what today is all about. And I think with that, we all know that all of us just love pets. I don't know of anybody who don't really like pets at all. But I'd like to take today and we'll talk briefly about just some of the pets that were probably in the White House. But then I'd like for us to also take this time and talk about Beatty's pets, Charlie Grace's pets, mine, and also yours down there in the Chatterbox. And by what we're trying to ask here is that with that, we want to know about your first pet and what role does your pet play in your house. So, we're kind of like a little spin from White House, your house, and the first pets in the White House to the first pets in your house. So I just think that'll be a fun way to keep a lot of the politics out of it and a lot of fun with pets. So with that, ladies, let's get talking about our pets and anything that we might want to share that we do have a little bit maybe of some fun facts to deal with dogs and politics.
I'll start. George Washington had a whole lot of hound dogs.
Yes.
Whole lot of them. I think, let me pull this up again because I have it right here. He had Drunkard, which is one of his hound dogs, Mopsy, Taster, Chloe, Tipsy, Tippler, Foster, Captain, Lady Rover, Vulcan, Sweet Lips, and Searcher, and they were all hound dogs, which amazing.
He loved his hound dogs. He loved his hound dogs. And actually, what's sort of fun, I know we were talking about this earlier, is, and Dave doesn't even remember this, but we have an event here called the Steeplechase Iroquois, and that hound dog lineage from George Washington's hound dogs, we get to run with the hound dogs once a year here in Nashville in May. So I actually have pictures I got to lay down and play and goof off with these hound dogs. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That is really, really cool. And it's crazy how they're winning. And this is families and generational. It happens with humans too, but you don't think about it that much with dogs unless you're engulfed kind of in that dog world. But me, just a person who owns my family dogs, I wouldn't have thought about, George Washington's dogs had puppies and they continued on and there's still some of them around. It's crazy.
And they're super cute. Oh my gosh. And it's the funniest thing because I would be laying in the field, literally taking a picture of these, like you remember this, like 35 dogs, charging at you. And you're like, and you're just, and all of a sudden they get you and they just lick you all over.
Love
I
that.
want to know where all these names, those were some really great.
The first one, Drunkard. Like that had to be after a night of poker or something.
Well,
it was George. It was George.
George did make it, he did distill for personal
That's
use.
true. That's true. Yep.
So
Can you
I wonder
imagine-
if that dog Drunkard.
He could have had one named Moonshine or Rudolph. We just don't know. So.
There's another one called Sweet Lips. Can you imagine he's out there using his dogs to hunt and he whistles and goes, "Hey, Sweet Lips."
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Can you imagine?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is too cute. Too cute. And I do know I think there were like 7 really famous dogs, I think they say, as far as in the White House. And there's even a presidential pet museum.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's. I mean, people love their pets many times more than their own children. I hate to say that out loud, but I think one of the things that we talk about, and we're going to talk about our first pets, but it's that first, I'll call it experience of unconditional love.
Yeah.
And pets sort of bring that love and that sweetness that calms you down in so many different ways. Not just our working dogs, but our regular. You talk about family dogs. So these first pets are really it's a game changer.
It is. It definitely is. And I was looking at the statistics that it actually said that 67% of households in this country own a pet. Which says that means that 85 million families have a pet. I'm like, wow, just amazing. I mean, I feel for the ones who don't, because I know I absolutely adore mine, and they have, definitely a special place in our home. So,
And as sad as this is, that there's homeless people out there, I've seen homeless people who seem so happy because they have their pet. All they need is their pet in them, and they are good to go. There was this one guy I remember at the gas station near my house, and he was traveling through, and he had his backpack, and he set it down, and he set his dog sat right next to it with one paw on it and didn't move till the guy came back out. And I had to get out of my car and go over there, and I gave him a couple dollars to go get a coffee and a treat for the dog, because I was like, this is the best trained dog I've ever seen. He didn't move. He didn't flinch. But you could just tell that they had like a special bond.
Yeah, and pets can impact a person's mental health and well-being. So that's something you think about. You talk about having a pet in the White House. I mean, imagine the stress that the people in the White House have, and being able to walk over and pet a dog or a cat or something of that nature. It does make a big difference.
Oh yes, I definitely can. I can see that definitely be a calming and make a big change for all that dang stress going on over there. Whew. I see Nomadic Hippie put in there. You would think more than that would have pets, even if it was a fish.
The majority of pets in the United States, I mean, I will tell you right now, the dogs do top over the cats. Nothing wrong with the cats. We're not going there, because we love all animals. But it's true. So, when you start looking at statistics, I'm primarily a dog person. I've worked in zoos and aquariums for, my life. I'm an animal behavioralist, so I understand these things. So I can talk to a whale, and I can go down to the dog.
Oh. That's cute. I see Gina's down there, says, my cats take care of me.
I know my dog's not a service animal, but a therapy pet. And he can pick up on when I'm going to have a seizure. He can pick up when I'm having anxiety. And he doesn't just do it for me anymore. He does it for me and the kids. Okay. And then we got our second dog when he was a puppy. And I watched the older dog teach the younger dog to do the same thing he was doing without anybody telling him to do it or anything. And the next thing I know, they're both taking care of people in the house. And if somebody has a tummy ache, they're laying on their tummy, or just being there when they need to be there. It was pretty cool thing to watch.
Dogs are really sensitive, and cats too, as well as, and when I talk about energy level and health. So they're very intuitive in looking at those things and understanding. So, that's something that a lot of people take for granted. They think that animals don't communicate very well, when in reality, we just don't understand how to read them as best as what we could.
That is true.
And Shanna Craft, that is actually Theresa's dog that is snoring. That is not Frog. That is her dog snoring.
Okay, now Theresa, let's talk about this. What kind of dog do you have?
Here, and she is.
I believe she's a pug.
I think so too. Or Frenchie. I wasn't sure which one.
And she is a boxer pug, and I'll share a picture of her on here. We'll go ahead and put her picture up while we're doing that. I'll get that out to share.
Gina said her older cat teaches the younger cat how to act around her.
Oh, that's so sweet. And that's so sweet.
Down there. And that's Winnie.
There you go. Look at that face. I love it.
And all that noise comes from that tiny little dog.
Yeah, and how old is she now?
Going on 15 years.
Okay, so she's a senior dog, which is great, and there's nothing wrong with senior dogs. We love senior dogs.
Yeah.
We do a lot of work with Old Friends Senior Dog Sanctuary, and a lot of people, I always say, when you get a dog or a puppy, you have to think of it throughout their entire lifetime, and it's important that you understand, as you go through phases of life, your dog's going to need some special care as well. So that's awesome.
Yep. So that would be her.
Oh, can I ask a favor of the people in the chat? Can you do me a favor? Can you put a D in the chat if you have a dog, or a C in the chat if you have a cat? Or if you have both, you could have a DC. There you go. I'm just curious to see who has dogs and cats who are in the chat today.
And if you have a fish, they said that, maybe F, I don't know.
It's just always fun to see who has what.
I have 2 bearded dragons, a cat.
Oh, wow.
No, 2 bearded dragons, no cat, sorry. A turtle and 2 dogs.
There you go. We understand that. We have lived that life.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3
Uh-oh.
or 5. We have 5 Ds, and Gina has 5 Cs all on her own. And then
I was going to say.
Go, Gina. You're an overachiever. What can I say?
So what is your dog's name, Miss Charlie Grace?
Well, our dog's name is Rosie Bell Dog. I know that sounds crazy to have dog as the last name, but that's actually her Instagram. It's Rosie Bell Dog. She is the South's most famous rescue dog, and she is going on about 3 years. She is a lab mix with dwarfism. She got diagnosed about 9 months, and because of that, she's a full body lab with little teeny tiny legs. So she's a low rider, and a lot of people look at her and say, is she part dachshund? I'm like,
No.
Actually, no, not really. She just happens to be a little special.
Yep.
We did do the DNA test, so we can give you some definitive answers on these things, but she is a lab Airedale Terrier Border Collie with a tiny touch of Chinese crested, which we just don't want to talk about. It's like that crazy side of the family we just don't want to talk about. Yay, she's back.
Well, I completely understand the short leg thing because one of my dogs is a Pomeranian pit bull.
Oh, yes.
So it has the tiny little short legs a Pomeranian would have, but it has the stance, the wide chest stance of a pit bull.
Oh, kitty. And we love pit bull mixes. We think they're the sweetest things. I love their ears. I always call them gentle giants. They're just the sweetest. Every time we do a post, we tend to go a lot of places and take pictures of other people and tell their stories. Because although our story is nice and we like to share it, we like to share other people's as well. And every time we put up a picture of a pit bull, our Instagram just blows up. Every time.
I'm going to share a picture of my little Pomeranian pit bull
There you go.
What?
It's got the Pomeranian nose.
Yeah, that's an interesting mix, I got to say. That's really interesting. Yeah, and how old is your dog?
Right, going on 3 years.
Okay. So you're sliding past those teenage dog years. So,
and this dog is the most cuddly, sweet dog I have ever seen in my life. It has to go under the covers. It has to be by somebody. It has anxiety if it's not around people. It just amazes me that there's even the only problem we have as far as any issue with him is he's not fond of other dogs in his yard. If they come anywhere near his yard, he's not real happy with it.
And that's not uncommon. I mean, being territorial is totally something that, they're used to, that they're protecting their family, they're protecting their territory. But, I'm sure maybe do you have bunnies and squirrels and things like that in your yard as well?
Yeah. And he'll chase all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's nice when you can find someone who has another dog that you can meet like on the sidewalk or in front of your house, and then you can walk to the backyard together. There's ways of sort of getting around this and working this through, but in reality, it's never really a bad thing for your dog to be territorial of his own territory. It's just you don't want him to lunge after there he is. Look at those guys.
And this is my Yorkie Bichon mix, and he is right at about 10. And he's the one that trained the other one.
The other one. So is he the size of a Yorkie? Because he's got the coloring of the Bichon. I'm just curious.
He's the size of a Yorkie body-wise, but he has the very long legs.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the silky white hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's got a little bit of gray in there, so he's got a little bit of that Yorkie color. Now the Pomeranian Pit is actually black with brindle, and then the white. So he's got everything, but
that's okay. You know what? It's a flavor. It's a spice. We like dogs that have personality. When people always ask me like, "What's your favorite breed?" or "If you could pick a dog today, what would it be?" And I always say, I found my partner on his. Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick on you now. It's just totally picking on you.
Oh, help me.
It's based on personality. The packaging is totally different. That's just a perk, in my opinion. So the same thing happens, with animals. When you go to like a shelter, you go to different places. You look at the personality and you say, "Is that a good fit for you?" And not not everybody meshes well, and that's okay.
Oh,
yeah.
There
Oh, there's Rosie. There she is. Oh my goodness. Yep. We've got the greenest grass right now. Welcome to the South. We are currently in Tennessee, and we're enjoying every minute of it. Hey guys, I see Carrie and Ara's here. Hey Kyle and Ryan. I'm on Team Ryan. I just keep telling her that. I just I'm there for you. There for you. I feel your pain. That's right. I feel your pain, sister. I am there for you.
Just a minute. I'm going to go through the comments here.
Yeah.
Kyle said, did you say a pom-pom and a pit? And I said, yes, a Pomeranian and a pit bull mix. That is what Anubis is. And then we have a couple people. Our Epic RV Adventure said, we used to have a beagle that had to sleep under the covers at the foot of the bed.
Oh, wow.
And then Kyle said, I had an Australian Kelp Husky mix, and he was a jerk and hated everyone.
I think we talked about that personality just a minute ago. I'm just saying, it can happen. It's absolutely, yeah. I always say I don't really train dogs as much as I train people. It's important to understand that, some people are born the way they are, but a lot of times you can work on those behavioral trainings. I'm not a big control person. I'm more on the behavioral side. So everyone has good in them, and so does every dog. Mm-hmm. You just have to find out where it is.
I rescued a Yorkie. It was I bought my first house, and I had a place for a dog, and then I ended up running into this family who was not treating this dog right. It lived in a cage. It never got out of the cage. And they had a young boy that was mistreating the dog. So I ended up rescuing the dog. I couldn't get near the cage to even let the dog out without a coat, welding gloves, boots. And it was a little Yorkie. It was just a tiny little Yorkie. But it took me probably 4 or 5 years to get the dog where it could roam my house and was comfortable with me and didn't bite or anything like that. But when we had company over, we'd have to put it in the laundry room so that it didn't accidentally bite anybody. Right. But when people came over, they thought we had a pit bull in our laundry room.
Yeah. A ferocious little thing.
Rosie has the largest bark for the smallest dog.
Oh my goodness. And it's a very deep, I always say if she were a female, it'd be like Lauren Bacall. She has this very deep voice, and it just scares the bejesus out of people. And I'm like, if you only knew. But she's playing, but yeah.
She'll bark right up at the door, and the other person on their side thinks we have some sort of like 150-pound German Shepherd on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
I love it. I have no problem with that. Oh, look at this.
Oh, there we go. Speaking of German Shepherds.
German Shepherd thinks the pillow belongs to her.
Depending on the size of the shepherd, I think that they're right.
Yeah, I was going to say, you may not understand that. I think the pillow is hers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had it was a shepherd chow mix that my daughter actually rescued. But when she rescued that dog, the dog only favored her for a really long time and didn't like anybody else. But as we called him Boo, as he matured and got older, and he wouldn't let us get close enough to him. He had a collar, and as he started getting close and that collar started getting a little tight, it's like I had to warm up really close to him and really slow to go and loosen up his collar. And no sooner than I loosened up that collar and sat there and pet him for a few minutes, his personality, just flipped for me. It's, from then. And I think with each person after that, it had to be a one-on-one change because he was really skittish. But that was as he was younger. As he matured, his whole disposition about him changed to this really loving pet, who I first had my grandkids, I was really fearful to let them be around them, not knowing how he would be. One fell on him, and I thought for sure, oh my God, this is it. And he just laid there they could crawl all over him, and he was fine.
I like what Place said Darby acts all tough towards people till they pet her, then she pees.
Oh, she's happy pee. Oh, okay, that's not uncommon.
There
happy
you go.
Pee. Yeah, you know what that's like.
You're very happy when Rosie finally grew out of that.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Typically, that's a puppy thing, and most dogs will, after about a year, they tend to they'll figure that out. But if they're still doing after that, and I just want to do a quick shout out real quick and let people know that I know we're talking about dogs. That's a lot of fun. And you guys, I can tell you guys got some really great pets. But every Thursday night at 8 p.m., we do our Yappy Hour, which is really a lot of fun. And a lot of people bring their issues and their questions and their concerns, and they put them in the chat. And we typically have animal trainers or other people, special guests that will answer those questions, which is great. So it's not just me, because I like to open it up. We have a really big dog travel friendly community. And, Dave and I have an RV. And so we're doing a lot of travel. We don't really call it an RV. What do you call it?
Okay. It is the most expensive portable dog house, mobile dog house, and portable laboratory that I've ever seen in my life. Yes.
So we end up doing that. So we have a very big community of people that we love to talk to and stuff. But we're reaching out more to our RV community, because we've never thought of being in the RV community. We just thought, that's just what we travel in. But we do, we get a lot of questions, and we go a lot of places, and people go, oh, why don't you bring that up? I'm like, oh, all right. So, there's Nomadic Hippie.
There we go.
Yeah. Hippie, he's talked to me about this before. I think I was one of the first people to hold Cat, and she's just not been around a lot of people. And when we stayed in Metropolis, she came and stayed in the hotel and played with us for a little bit. She ended up hiding under the bed after a little bit, because she was like, please stop touching me.
Oh, wow.
He says, I worry about times I travel other than on the road, leaving Cat with someone else, due to the fact I don't think she will eat or sleep without me. And she is like seriously attached to Hippie. So.
And that's not uncommon. I mean, when you travel, one of the things we talk about when you start traveling is don't be surprised if your pet does not eat the amount of food it used to eat when it was at home. Unless your traveling is your home. It's a little different story, but especially if you go away. But these are things that just, it's part of it, because they're unfamiliar with their surroundings. They don't know what's going to happen next. I
was going to say, honestly, I've been around Rosie since we picked her up and brought her home, but I'm not the mommy. And Rosie is Velcroed to her. And when Charlie has to go out, or she goes grocery shopping, just grocery shopping, Rosie will pout. She'll come over and say, I'm not with mommy. She didn't bring me. She didn't take me with her. I'm unhappy. Then she comes back, and her entire back end just wags like this.
Oh, my goodness.
You figure that she had not seen her for 3 years, and it was just 30 minutes going to Kroger's.
That is something.
Option permanence. It's called option permanence.
I know.
I've dog sat before, and I've had people dog sit for me when I've had to go out of town and couldn't take the dogs. And a lot of the time they won't eat for the first day or two, maybe. And then they'll slowly start to pick at it, and they'll be like, okay. As long as they're left with somebody responsible and loving and patient with them, I think they end up eating eventually. Avenger RV Adventure said, I bought a fish tank, and my house came with it.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Nice. Very cool. I have 4 fish. We used to have 1 fish.
Yes.
I named it Steve. We went through 9 Steves, so I was done with the Steves. So we got 4 fish, and I named them after the Beatles, because I know one's going to die someday, and I know what the name of that one would be.
There you go. That's a good way of looking at it. And I wanted to say that you have also Kyle up there says that he loves Yappy Hour.
Oh, thank you. It is a lot of fun. And this week I was going to say, we've got some pretty big names.
Authors.
Yeah, we got a lot of authors. We've got a new author, Wolves of Wisdom. Was it Wolves of Wisdom? I always get this backwards. Wolves of Wisdom.
Wolves of Wisdom.
Megan and Amy are going to be on Thursday talking about their children's book. And if you've ever wanted to write a children's book or a book in general, they're going to talk about their process and what they've done. And all the proceeds, of course, goes to animal rescues, which is near and dear to our heart.
Okay.
Which is cool. And then the week after that, we have Caesar Milan's animal communicator, Michael Burke. So if you ever watched Michael Burke on TV and done some stuff, he's going to be on talking about that.
Nice. That is nice. Also, BB, I think there's another remark from Avenger in reference to the fish, if you've seen that.
He says, I don't have fish anymore. Still have the house.
Okay, good. Good. Yes.
Well, at least you're not homeless.
I see Linda left a comment, says, I need advice on how to get my mom's Jack Russell to calm down. He's way too hyper. Well,
That's part of the breed with Jack Russell.
Yeah.
That's a Jack Russell.
it's like Jack Hyper Russell.
Yeah.
And actually, Linda, how old is the Jack Russell? Because that does make a little difference,
Yeah.
depending on what I tell you. So, are we looking at 2 years old, 10 years old? Yeah. Fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to do. I'm like, who
yeah.
names Fish? I'm like, well, if we're going to name them, either we name the whole thing the same name, like they're all going to be George. Or
and the thing was that the predecessor to the Fab Four
oh yes,
was a
39
cent feeder goldfish who ended up
that I rescued.
that she rescued that ended up, and I am not kidding, this is not a fish story. This thing was
Huge.
this big.
Huge.
We ended up giving it to another friend who had a pond,
Like a koi pond.
Mm-hmm. And the fish is now living its full life, its best life, with other fish that are actually smaller than it. That was the crazy part. Is that we bought this thing? It was like itty bit, and it ended up being like this big,
like a carp. It's
crazy.
Huge. It was huge.
Yeah.
It should have been like in a Japanese restaurant. You would see.
Oh yeah.
My father-in-law had a Jack Russell, and I think he was 5 when he finally started to get a little bit slower. Like his age started to kind of show a little bit, but from the baby stage till about 5, we literally had to take him to the park and play fetch with him. And there was a neighbor that the teenager jogged. So we'd send the dog off too, because we could not. I was trying to figure out a way for the dog to calm down enough where my father-in-law could handle him. So we found different activities to burn off a lot of that energy during the day, because otherwise he was just tearing up the house. At one point, he was jumping on the kitchen table, and I was like, "This can't happen."
Wow.
And I believe it. So here's my advice with Jack Russells and dogs that are a little more on the hyper and they have a lot more energy. First off, they need to get that energy out.
Yeah.
Without getting that energy out, they're going to find a way to get the energy out. And it's probably going to be in your house. And like you said, it may be on your kitchen table. Probably not going to like it. So, these are dogs that need to be walked. These are dogs that need to go to dog parks. These are dogs that you need to spend some time on. And more importantly, they need to have something to do. They need to have a task to do, or they will find something to do. So when it comes to peace and quiet, I deal like right now because a lot of people are working from home. There are a few things I highly suggest for people who are doing a lot of WebEx conferencing or Zoom meetings, and their dog is like jumping in the background, and you hear this crazy barking. One of them is split elk antlers.
Absolutely.
Split antlers are wonderful. It's a great thing. It's nutritious. They get to the bone marrow. They're very long lasting, and your dog will. I mean, it could last 2, 3, 4 months. I know we have like 4 or 5 that lasted for a good at least 4 months.
And if the dog is of a large enough size that the antler, they're just like blowing through it, then go to the non-split. And then what they do is they'll just do a diagonal cut to shave off a little just so the dog can see where the marrow is, and then they'll just take care of the rest, and then the whole antler becomes their toy. And it's like, not to bring up cats with dogs, but it's like catnip for a dog.
Right.
Elk antler is the bomb.
Gotcha. Mine just sleeps and snores, so I'm lucky.
I love in the background. I love the snore.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Mine like to point out ghost when I'm home alone. Like that's their favorite hobby, to scare me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Walk around the dead person, please. We have things to do. That's But I want to bring this up because this is a very common thing is my dog is hyper. My dog wants to go do something. Why can't my dog just lay there and sleep? I don't think I've seen elk antlers. Okay, so we have, there's 2 things. Let me just say this right now. I hate to plug this, but I'm going to go there. You can go to your pet stores. You can ask around. You can go online. We do have an Amazon store if you want to just look it up. And there's an example there. If you want to buy them, great. Any money that we get from our Amazon store, honestly, all the money we use from that and from our other affiliates, we gather and we pay for adoption fees for dogs that are rural shelters that have been there the longest. That's how we use that money. So we'd like to pay it forward.
Happy Place said, I've heard bones and antlers aren't always safe because dogs will get slivers off of them and it can do damage to their insides. Is that true?
So it's a yes and no question. The bottom line is, depends on if you have an active chewer. I mean, if you have a dog that can go through some stuff and can break off an antler, probably not a good idea to do. It's very rare. It's not something that happens all the time, but in my experience, that's been, like I said, that's been our go-to lately. Another thing you could use is hard smoked cheese, hard smoked yak cheese.
Yeah, Himalayan yak.
There's Himalayan is a company that makes that. And it's cheese. It sounds crazy, but it's like actually there's one over there. It's a stick. They're not cheap. Not gonna lie. You probably they're like $10 a stick. But they'll gnaw those things. I mean, and just go to town. And it's lactose free. And then when you get down to a little teeny tiny part, you soak it in water, pop that puppy in the microwave, and it looks like a Cheeto.
Yeah.
And Happy Place said Darby is an extreme power.
Extreme power chewer.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to extreme power chewers, we get to, you talk about toys and what you can and can't do.
Well,
tires are great.
The combo toy,
What?
the one that we put the bully stick inside of.
So West Paw has a really interesting thing. Bully sticks for power chewers are just like Tic Tacs. They just go to town. But West Paw has a few things. They're like very large rubber. I don't know the name of it. I think we got our Amazon store too. Yeah. But you can actually put the bully stick inside, and it slows down the chewing, and it gives them something to hold on to, so they're not choking on a small piece.
And it's one of those things where for Rosie, because we'll get the bully sticks in like 3 foot long stretches, and then I'll cut them down for her.
It's a lot cheaper too.
It's a lot cheaper. Yeah. But then what we'll do is we'll put this thing in there, and I'll just leave the ends out so she sees, oh wait, there's a goodie right here. And so she has to fight around the rubber, and this is a very, very, very dense rubber.
Is it Kong?
It reminds me of a Kong. Yeah,
Kong's very similar to Kong.
Similar. So there's a couple companies that we like. West Paw is one. Kong, of course, is another.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, some of those toys are really good for those active chewers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can't go through stuff. We can't do stuffed animals. It'd be just like fluff everywhere.
That's what it is at my house. Fluff goes everywhere. And the pit bull Pomeranian actually tore up a Kong toy. And I was like, seriously? These are supposed to be made for big dogs. You're a tiny little thing. How did you do that? But then for Christmas, one of the kids in the neighborhood bought the Pets toys. And he just got Walmart toys. And one of them was like this rubber plastic hard bone. And I was like, maybe we'll see. And we keep a really close eye when they have their toys. And that thing lasted over 1.5 years. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Some of those like Nylabone, Benabone, different companies like that. It just depends on the dog, what you have. And there's some things that have been recalled just based upon the way they were shaped, that they were actually causing choking hazards. So you got to watch that stuff, and especially for puppies. They're going to chew it. You're going to see it out come the other end. So,
Now, where could people find the link to your Amazon store?
So if you go to our YouTube, quite honestly, and you go to any of our videos, take a look. You go down to the description. It's always in the description.
In the notes.
Yes, in the description.
In the show notes.
In the show notes. That's about the easiest way to find it.
I also stuck the our email for the show out there. So if anybody does want to email the show a picture of your dog, if you can do it.
There we go.
We'll share you in the chat pictures of your pet. Don't have to be a dog, pet.
That's right.
If we get it in the next few minutes, we'll share it on the show and just tell us in the chat the name, and we would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, snoring. Yes.
Now we were talking about this. So you said that you had 2 bearded dragons, correct?
Yes. We have one that is about almost 2 years old now. And then after we got that one, we were going to the pet store constantly to get crickets and stuff. And there was a 3-legged bearded dragon. And I am a sucker for anything that's going to get left behind. So we ended up with another bearded dragon.
Now
that's her That's
Yeah.
her
My
soft spot right there.
So so we've had bearded dragons. They do the little hand wave. Got a little hand wave with bearded dragons. They're so sweet.
That is mating.
I know.
We have a male and a female. We found out, and
Oh wow! Uh-oh.
One will bob its head, and the other will swim with its arms.
Yes.
And they're trying to,
tell each other hello.
Say hey there.
But they are actually very much like dogs. They know who their people are. When you get them out, they cuddle up to you and rub their head against your neck. They have each their own personality. Like one of them is really, really hyper. One of them's really lazy and just like, I'm good to just chill here. And the other one's like, I'm going to run and you're going to chase me. But I had no idea until we got them how much personality a bearded dragon could have. I was just like, oh, it's just a dragon. We're going to look at it and hold it every once in a while. No.
No, it's a little different. It's a little different. When I took a job at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago a long time ago, and I was a country kid coming into the big city, all excited, like my first really big, zoo and aquarium working, and I had the most amazing office right off the oceanarium with the beluga whales, and just everything you could think of, and you're like, I was in the big time, very excited, but trying to find an apartment to move to in Chicago, when you said, do you take aquarium pets?
Mm-hmm. Just wait.
So I found an apartment on Michigan Avenue in Chicago that took aquarium pets. And
tell them the pets.
So
come on,
I had to get a 2-bedroom apartment for this because I was bringing in all of these hands-on animals to bring to the aquarium, and I had to bring them back and forth. And so I had lizards, I had snakes, I had frogs, I had toads, I had turtles, I had everything you could think of. I had a 6-foot-long iguana.
There you go. That's the one. Had his own fake tree.
His own fake tree in the place. 6 foot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And initially when it was so small, we thought it was a female, so I named it Madeline. And then we found out later it was a male, so that became Mr. Mad.
Our female bearded dragon is named Timmy.
Oh yeah. That's okay. Totally fine.
And my son found out later that it was a girl after he named it Timmy and decided, it's going to stay Timmy.
It's going to stay Timmy. It's okay. But when it comes to like herpetology and reptiles and things like that, I totally get you. And I think there's a really good author named Philip de Vaugelet that makes these really narrow, I shouldn't say narrow, thinner books. And you can find them sometimes in pet stores. They are the absolute go-to when it comes to animal husbandry for geckos and bearded dragons and blue-tongued skinks and things like that. And I highly recommend those because if you don't know, things that can change their world or their substrates that they live on and things that they eat, it's a big deal.
Exactly. Nice.
Yeah, we had to do a lot of research before I let the first bearded dragon come in the house. I was like, you're going to learn everything you need to learn. And we're going to learn everything we need to learn because I don't know anything about this, And so we researched like crazy. And now the next step is they want to start a cockroach colony. So that they don't keep
The only kind of bugs I like are the ones I would order from like the crazy cricket to feed the other animals.
Yeah.
So
and that's what they would do. They would one of their friends, she's a little girl, she's 13, and she has her own cockroach colony that she feeds her bearded dragon with. And they ordered it from Amazon. They ordered some, and then they put them all together, and then they just continuously mate, and they live off of the scraps you put in there, and it keeps itself going. It's I forget what that's called when the environment manages itself, but
it's a self-sustaining ecosystem.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There you go.
I like to do crosswords. That's why it's all good.
I just stick to computers and servers and networking. I leave all that stuff to this.
There you go.
Yeah, the cockroach thing has been a no from me so far, but
I would go with a no too.
My daughter really keeps hers it's in a Rubbermaid container, and it's deep enough where when she opens it, they don't get out. She
It
just
only
reaches
takes
in.
one, though.
Yeah.
It only takes one.
That's true.
But these are a different breed, so I don't think that they.
Okay. Have you ever had a cricket loose in your house, though?
No, I have
Okay.
not.
That's okay. So, so we used to order 1,000 crickets a month. Just put that in perspective. 1,000 crickets a month, and it only takes one
Yes.
to get loose.
Yes.
And you'll go nuts finding that
Yep.
one cricket. You'll be like, oh my God. And we have, and something a lot of people don't know, we have, how many children do we have? How many? We have 6 kids. 6 kids. Wait. How many do we have in college this year? 5. We have 5 children in college this year. So we are Kraft macaroni and dinner family right now. We are. The kids are doing great.
Oh yeah.
Kids are eating like,
Kids are eating.
kings and queens.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the ones sitting here going, oh my God, we need a hashtag get off mama's payroll.
Yes.
Right? Oh, I completely understand that. I'm still trying to catch this visual back from you in that apartment with that big old 6-foot.
I have so many great stories. My favorite story was, I lived in a high rise. Just imagine high rise in Michigan Avenue, beautiful view of Lake Michigan, just everything you can think of, stunning, gorgeous, whatever. And I was bringing in groceries, and Maddie, I must have left the door open, and Maddie got out down the hallway and got into the elevator. Now, you try to find a 6-foot-long iguana in a high-rise building that's now in an elevator. There were 3 elevators, and you just listen for the screams. And you're trying to run up and downstairs to find out where this iguana went.
And they're not slow.
No, he's fast.
No.
He was very fast. So I was just like, and I got the phone call from the doorman going, Miss Charlie, I think we have a problem on floor 7.
You should have 2 emails, Theresa.
Okay, I am.
My sister was scared of the bearded dragons, and she was over on Thanksgiving, and my dad loves the bearded dragons. He wants them to have their fun so he can have his own bearded dragon. He loves them. And so I glance over to my right, and I glance over to my left, and my sister's on my left, and my dad's on my right. My dad's got that smile. You know, that one that says he's about to do something? And I look back over to my left as he plops the bearded dragon down on my sister's shoulder, and she just
oh no!
She couldn't move, couldn't do anything. All she could do was scream like a whisper scream, like you know.
I love it. Well, one of my I did a graduate study on talking about people's belief structures and how hands-on activities can alter a person's belief structure. And I know this sounds sort of crazy, but just hear me out on this. So the idea was, if we take an animal that has a stigma to them, and we could pick a tarantula or a cockroach or a snake or something like that, and we could get that person to learn more about that animal. Like you said, you knew nothing about bearded dragons, nothing. It wouldn't be your first pick, right? It'd be like, oh, I don't know anything about this. And we did a study in talking about these animals with stigmas. And if we went through a hands-on study program for about 6 weeks, would it change what they thought about them from the beginning to the end? Now, most people would say yes. Oh, here comes a picture.
You can keep talking. I'm just going to share these while you're talking over there.
And Nellie, I don't see a name. Let's see.
It's not popping up here.
And if Nellie wants to put in.
Let me remove that for a minute.
And anyway, so long story short, what we ascertained was the fact that the more that you can have hands-on interactions with animals, the more you can alleviate the stigma, as well as it actually increases your awareness. So just like hands-on activities with children, it's the same kind of concept, but it also makes you more gives more empathy, which is something we didn't know. So it was a really interesting study, and I'd do it all over again if we had to. But I just think that's really cool for those people who are able to overcome those stigmas or fears. It's a neat way of doing it.
I have a fear of snakes. I don't think I'll ever overcome it. I've tried. I'm one of those people, and I've talked about this before, where I was scared of heights, so I went and rented a Cessna airplane and went with my dad, and the pilot nose dove the airplane. Like, I was gonna skydive to get married because I'm scared of heights. I was like, try it. So I'll face the fears head on in order to try to overcome them. However, snakes and me, it's not happening. I've tried.
It's okay.
That's
It's
all
okay.
right.
And it doesn't have to be your favorite. That's totally fine. It was just an interesting study. Linda Barker said, they said that her husband brought over her husband's friend brought over an iguana. Do you see that comment?
Yep. My husband's friend brought over an iguana and I wasn't home, and the guys went somewhere and left the iguana loose in the house.
Oh
and
my
meanwhile,
goodness.
I came home with my daughter who was 6 or 7 years old.
Whew, surprise.
We accidentally brought home a friend's, they're long and skinny and furry ferret.
A ferret.
Oh wow.
We had a
Yeah.
swim bag at their house, and the ferrets ran around their house, and it had climbed in the swim bag, and we had no idea
Oh,
until we
jeez.
got home. And then
Surprise.
I was like, oh, "That's not ours."
No,
Yeah.
that has to go back. Sorry.
Yes. And you pray it doesn't need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, real quick, because we've got about 9 minutes or so left.
Yes.
Anyone that has shared pictures, I appreciate you sharing them. It looks like Teresa's having trouble getting back on here. Oh, she's coming. She's trying.
She's coming.
Hang in there, everyone.
There she
Yay!
is.
Woo!
Yay!
Welcome back.
But you
Well,
have something you're working on. Can you kind of talk about that while we share some of these pictures? I think you were wanting to collect pictures for something, maybe.
Okay, so if you have, I know that people have asked if you have a picture of your pet and you want to share it, that'd be great. We are actually collecting pictures of people's pets as well, and we're doing a project with it. Hopefully during this holiday season. Oh, whose puppy is that?
And it has its pet.
And
Phil, is
this
that
is
the
the Avenger.
Oh,
Ah.
Adventures.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be collecting YouTubers' pets, and if you want to send an email over to our foreverbestfriend@gmail.com, we're going to be doing a holiday fun event, and we're going to be hosting something really cool, and we're very excited about that. But if you want to share those photos, we are collecting them, and I think we've got, I think we're down to 24 photos from different YouTubers
So
right
far.
now. So
Yeah.
our goal is to get 50. 50 would be amazing, and then we're going to do a fun project with it.
All right, and here is another. I know this famous.
Oh, there we go.
This would be Happy
This
Place
is
Camp.
Darby,
Yes.
yes, with Happy Place Camping.
Look at that face.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. See that one in videos. There. And a few more here too.
I was going to say, we're going to be at Nashville Shores this weekend, where they open up the pool to all the dogs, and
Oh, yeah.
it's a fundraiser for New Leash on Life. And I think it's $25 a person and dog, and then you get the run of the pool, and it is
Yeah.
hilarious.
They're going to have the wave pool open
Yep.
without the waves,
Yep.
just to make it nice.
Look at this!
And then they're going to have a part of the lazy. They have like a lazy river thing, and they're going to set aside a part of it for some sort of fetch.
Yeah.
Like
Like a lure course with water.
like a lure course with water. So
That's really
should be
cool.
interesting.
And I think that was Linda R.
Yeah.
Yes. With
Yeah.
with its pet fish.
Please pet
Yes.
fish.
Yeah.
Every cat needs a pet fish.
And there should
And
be
then I put your email over here in the chat. So if anyone wants to
Yes.
send their pictures of their pets to Charlie Grace at Forever Best Friend, she would appreciate that.
And baby, do you have your email where you can pull it up? That's when I get dragged down when I pull it up. There should be one more in there. I think it's from Lily.
And it's
Of
in
the
Let's Talk
dog.
About It.
We're going to have to go meet Kenneth Oak's German Shepherd named Toots. I wonder
Yes.
why we name a German Shepherd Toots. I'm worried about that.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, right? Hmm.
Names
I wonder why.
Names are interesting. Names are interesting.
I can't pull it up right at the moment.
Let me
And Linda R said that was her Doodles.
Yes, the
I like
the cat's name was Doodles.
Doodles.
Oh, I got another one here. And oh my.
Happy Place said, well, I thought my previous boxers were spoiled. Darby takes it to a whole different level.
Oh wow. Well,
Okay.
you know,
That's okay. You're allowed.
that's the way you go.
Totally allowed. Hey, listen, I have a painting of I have a watercolor
Yes.
painting of our dog,
Yes, she does.
beautifully professionally framed in my dining room right now, which I never thought I'd ever have. So Yeah, we went there.
And Rosie, honestly, I really do believe this. Hold on, where's my right hand? Up here, I promise. Has more clothes than I do.
Well,
Come on.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe not as many
No.
T-shirts,
No.
but
No.
she's making a
Look,
run for it on
there's
the
a pack.
bandanas.
There's a pack. Look at that.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All right.
That. And I want to say that was from Cindy Wheeler.
Nice.
They're all so beautiful. The one in the middle is got an absolute like statue like stance.
Oh, yeah.
And so gorgeous.
You almost think that the Aussie might have, is just sitting there waiting for them to try to move, just so it can put them back where they need to be.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna take my best guess. This is fun on shadows. So it looks like we've got a heeler mix, a cocker mix, and some kind of a lab or spaniel, or not a spaniel, but like a Chessie of some kind.
I don't know if Chessie.
It just depends. I'm looking at a dark shadow. I don't know.
I know, but it's not curly.
It just depends.
Okay.
Well, Nelly, that's the word I was looking for. Absolutely regal looking.
Regal.
Yes,
Yes. Regal.
absolutely.
I like regal. We've had everything. I've had everything from Danes to Chihuahuas over the years, and lots of different mixes. And our last dog that passed away last year, which is, I have to say,
almost 3 years ago now.
well,
3 years ago.
yeah, 3 years ago. It feels like last. This
Yeah,
is,
I know.
This is how bad
Feels
it is
like
because
last
I feel like this dog is still here. Was a little Chihuahua, Applehead Chihuahua. That was the sweetest thing.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
And this one is Journey the Alili
Journey
dog.
Nice.
Look at those ears.
And the other one, the other dogs, the black one was Charlie, and it's a Great Dane Lab.
Oh,
Bailey
wow.
is a healer, and Jordan is a Cocker Spaniel.
I got
Hey,
a blue Cocker Spaniel.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
I got love for the Cocker right here. I was raised by a Cocker
He
Spaniel.
was raised by a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll tell you that.
Oh,
And Nelly said she sent a picture too, Theresa.
that was the first one I showed, but we'll show that again. I think that was anyway. Let me double check just to make sure I had the right one.
And don't forget, everyone, to send these over to Forever Best Friends too.
Please.
foreverbestfriend@gmail.com.
And if they don't mind, I can forward them on. too.
Sure.
That's
Great.
great too. Yeah, whatever works. Make it easy
If
on
they
everybody.
don't mind.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you just want Theresa to forward them over, and we can do that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Cindy says they're all rescues. That's great.
That is awesome.
Great job, Cindy.
I am looking for Wonelli's. I did pull it over. I just looked at it again. I think that was the first one we showed, but we will show it again.
You can never see it enough.
Oh,
That's so
never.
fun.
Right. I agree. Where is that darling thing? All right, we're going to try this one more time. So, okay.
All right, we have Avengers said you can forward it. Shanna Kraft said I sent one, you can forward it on.
Okay. And there we go.
Oh, this is that cutie. That face.
Oh,
Oh, look at that one. So cute.
Oh, that's a great photo.
Look at that tongue.
Oh, wow.
Talk about Tongue Out Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
And Linda said, I'm not a creator, but if they want to use it, they can. So you can forward it.
Thank you, Linda. That's very sweet. We
That
appreciate
is
that.
nice.
That is such a cute face.
What
lighting on that
storyline is that? That is beautiful.
I love that. I want to think I shared everybody's pets, and I will forward those on to you, Charlie Grace.
Thank you. Okay, that'd be great.
I think everyone is good with that.
Yep. And we're at 59 minutes and 22 seconds.
Well, we just want to say thank you so much for inviting us. We've had a blast. It's always fun talking to great friends. And we appreciate everybody, and we just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you coming on and talking about all the pets. Hello,
Yeah.
cute little doggy.
Rosie's in it now. Rosie's all there. She's a ham.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Rosie Bell, right?
Rosie, she's a Southern girl.
She's
You
a
gotta-
Southern girl who has two names.
She has to have two names, yes.
Rosie
I'm Charlie
Bell.
Grace and Rosie Bell.
There you go. That is that is just awesome. Thank you again so much, you guys, both for being here with us. It has really been fun. I enjoy talking about everybody's pets. I mean, we just love them. So, but I know the subject was about the political pets. But for those who do want to learn more about those, I will drop also a link to the Presidential Pet Museum, and you can find more on that topic there for your own personal enjoyment. And you know what? I already closed my chat.
I dropped it in here earlier, but I'm dropping it right now.
Okay, good. All right. So just for if anybody wants to look anything up on that. So definitely appreciate everybody being here. And with that, I just like to again thank you all for being here tonight and taking part also in the Chatterbox. We really do appreciate you. And Mike and I, with Meant to Be RVing, wish you all a good night.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Beyond Beauty 3, wishing you much kindness and much love.
There you go.
Yeah.